What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to $3.4 trillion stimulus update. It is Tuesday, November the 17th, 2020. Please do me a huge favor. Give this video a thumbs up, hashtag EIDL with your comments below. Share this video all over social media. And if you're new to this channel and you want me to help grow your business, I ask that you please subscribe right now and make sure you hit that bell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of hitting the bell, you might have heard, or maybe you didn't, on Sunday, we announced the 4 winners of $2,000 in cash prizes. And as of 10 o'clock last night, all 4 of those winners have already gotten their money. Ask yourself this question. How many other YouTube channels in the EIDL / stimulus / PPP space have given you a chance to win $2,000 in cash prizes and paid it out? Whoops, don't knock over the phone. And paid it out within 24 hours. Answer, 1. But what's really, really frustrating to me, as much as we're trying to give away of our time and money, which is part of the mission of this channel, 92% of you didn't tune in. Now, I have to believe if you would have gotten a notification saying that 4 people just won $500 a piece, you would have taken a few minutes to watch the video. But the reason 92% of you didn't is because you won't listen to me when I say, subscribe and hit the bell. How are you going to know what you have to do the next time? Because there's definitely going to be a next time. When I give away, I don't know, $1,000 a piece. You got to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll know what you have to do. How many hoops are you going to have to jump through? Not many. All you had to do to be eligible for this one is to like the video 2 weeks ago, put cash prize hashtag below, and subscribe and hit the bell. But 92% of you obviously aren't listening to me. So, one more time, if you'd like to be alerted the next time we do a cash prize, hit the bell. If you want to know what you're going to have to do real soon when we announce the launch of a brand new business where this guy is going to help grow your business, I'm talking 50, 100 times on your money in a given year. I gave you guys an example. Imagine if you're an accountant and you charge $500 and I set up a business and I get dozens of people to buy your services. Well, if it's pennies a day to be an annual member of this particular business / website, and you make 10 grand or more in accounting fees, you're talking about 200, 300, 400 times on your money. What if you're a single mother or dad? We got a lot of single dads out there, and you make homemade chocolate chip cookies, right? Who doesn't love a chocolate chip cookie? Well, let's say a dozen happen to find their way to me, and I say, man, these are incredible. So I not only recommend you in our monthly newsletter, but I jump on a YouTube live. Oh yes, they're coming. And I tell everybody watching, get yourself a dozen or even 2 dozen of these cookies. Check them out at xyzcookies.com and use coupon code Jason for 10% off at checkout. Some of you are going to make an absolute bloody fortune, but if you don't subscribe and hit the damn bell, whether we're giving away money or trying to grow your business, what the hell can I do to help you? I can't. So one more time, Dale Craig, Christy Gabriel, Dwayne T. Dotson, The Real Jasleen were the 4 winners. They all got their money as of 10 o'clock last night. They were yakking it up in the comments on the last video. I'm sure they'll be back to verify. I look forward to doing this many, many times in the future. All right, let me talk briefly about this $3.4 trillion stimulus package. And I'm going to one more time make a plea for an executive order to the president and Secretary Mnuchin, so don't go anywhere. Joe Biden just came out in the last couple hours and said, we need a $3.4 trillion package, and I'll put it in the top comment, to pass as soon as possible. The problem is, and the article points this out, nobody's negotiating. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you the truth. I have taken a swing at Democrats, Republicans, Independents. I have no mercy on these people that have screwed you out of getting your money. And what money am I talking about? $10,000 in cash advance or the balance thereof, and you guessed it, a loan up to $2 million on the EIDL if you qualify. But for whatever reason, money and power, they can continue to drag this out probably until January, which is why I'm going to issue the executive. I wish I could issue it. I'm going to ask the President of the United States. Sorry I didn't put the jacket on today, sir, but I promise not to drop the F-bomb, or at least I'll try not to, before the end of this video. So what's Joe going to do? Moving back up to $3.4 trillion? Answer, he had to. Folks, take your partisan hat off. Some of you like to give me all these thumbs down because you think I'm taking sides. I'm not. Nancy Pelosi's power in the House has dwindled drastically. And as I said a few videos ago, she should have taken the deal. Secretary Mnuchin offered her $1.92 trillion for over 2.5 weeks. And she said, nah, she kept switching around between this, that, and the other. She should have taken the deal. Because according to the Vegas odds makers, the Democrats were supposed to pick up 5 seats in the House. She lost 12. She's got the smallest margin in almost 45 years in the House. She gets a couple of those blue dog Democrats to go over with the Republicans. She loses the House. And if the Republicans get one of these 2 runoffs in the Senate in January 5th in my state now of Georgia, Mitch McConnell holds on to the Senate. So Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats, with respect to Congress, I'm not talking about the White House, have much less power than they did a couple of weeks ago. So what's Joe Biden doing going from 2.2 trillion, which is what Nancy's number was? Mnuchin offered 192. He's got to go back up to 3.4, which was the original number passed in May on the HEROES Act. Why? Because Mitch started running his mouth yesterday about the HEALS Act, right? The HEALS Act in the Senate was $1 trillion a few months ago. Then he went back to that skinny bill of $500 billion. That was a joke the whole time. Well, now he's yakking it up again about the $1 trillion HEALS Act. Well, Biden and the Democrats had no choice because of Nancy losing so much power in the House. They got to go way back up to the 3.4 for leverage, which means they'll ultimately probably settle, it looks like, minus an executive order that I'm about to get to, somewhere around $1.5 to no more than $2 trillion in January of this coming year, which leads me to my final point. Mr. President, I've certainly addressed you a number of times. Secretary Mnuchin, it's an honor with you as well. We have, as I verified once again this morning, $135 billion of unspent PPP and $125 billion of unspent EIDL money that's been sitting there. There is no grant with respect to EIDL, Mr. President and Secretary Mnuchin. And might I add the staff that I send a copy of these videos to. Hope you guys are doing well. This money's been sitting there for months. So, Mr. President, in this lame duck session, I ask of you, enhance your legacy regardless of what happens with this contested election and who takes control in January. I ask of you, please. You have an opportunity to become a hero within the small business community. There are 9 million people that have applied for EIDL, as many or more for the PPP. With respect to PPP and the $135 billion, give everyone who already applied 50% more, no questions asked. No additional documentation. Send them an email saying, you already got 100,000 of PPP 4 months ago. Here's another 50,000. Check the box, sign, you're done. With respect to EIDL, set aside 50 billion of the 125 for the grant. As of this morning, there's about 9 million people that have applied for the loan or the grant at the SBA. The SBA has told me on multiple occasions the average grant was 5,000. So it was 5 employees, 1,000 per. So if you have 9 million people in the queue, their average amount they're waiting on is $5,000. That's $45 billion. So move over 50 billion into the grant pile, Mr. President, Secretary Mnuchin. That will give everyone who's watching the balance of $10,000 that they were promised via the CARES Act, leaving $75 billion left for the grant. And in the same principle as applies for PPP, offer anyone who already got EIDL loan money 50% more, no reconsideration, none of this waiting 6 or 7 weeks, no additional documentation. We'll give you 50% more that you already got approved for. Just check a box, sign and drive. There you have it. Mr. President, you have an opportunity right here and now. I've asked you this multiple times. Secretary Mnuchin, your staff, I don't know how many times I have to call and email and do videos like this. The money's already there. And any Democrat, whether it's Nancy or anyone that has blue on their collar that's going to challenge the legality of this, they may as well pack their bags. They barely have enough majority in the House right now. If any Democrat comes out and says, don't be sending another 50% of PPP or EIDL loan money, don't be sending 9 million people the balance of their $10,000 and a loan up to $2 million if they qualify, that's a guaranteed pack your bags, you're headed out of Washington, D.C. ticket. You have the power to do this, Mr. President. We don't need to borrow the money. We don't have to get permission to use it. It's already sitting there. PPP, EIDL, give out 50% more, put $50 billion in the EIDL grant pile. So everybody who's watching me right now, as per the intent of the CARES Act, gets $10,000 of cash advance. And you guessed it, Mr. President, a loan up to $2 million if they qualify. May God bless you and the United States of America.